Hello friends, welcome to the Jazz Ranch down south. We're in North Carolina, visiting our families down here. I have a video for you today, and it's on the song called Here's That Rainy Day. I'm going to play it for you and explain later my harmonic concepts on this. I've been influenced by Bill Evans. I've studied his music, and I'm using some of his ideas and his concepts of harmony. So here we go with a great song called Here's That Rainy Day. I'll play it for you first. You can download the score and follow along, and then I'll talk about it later on. Here we go. Here's That Rainy Day. Hello friends, welcome to the Jazz Ranch. Down south, we're in North Carolina. And I want to talk about the song, Here's That Rainy Day, that I played for you and show you what I did with it. Now, you want to download the score from my website that shows you the alterations and how I harmonized this song, or reharmonized it, you might say. Now, that means that really I put more chords into the arrangement than from the original sheet music or the original lead sheet. I created a new bass line, shall we say, or added more things to the bass line. And I also used alterations like tritone substitutes, that type of thing, quite a bit. Now, other than that, I didn't do anything too radical. I stayed pretty much with the song. Now, I started out with an introduction, just a short 2-measure introduction on a pedal tone. So I'm using the 5, the D. We're in the key of G now, 1 sharp. So I just put the G chord in with the pedal tone on the D, and then a B flat diminished chord to an A minor 9 chord, and then the D7 with that's a sharp 11 there, which I think is melodically nice way to get to that first note of the melody, which is the D on the G chord. That's the first note of the melody. So I have this simple as that. Now, from there, the original lead sheet, it's an interesting tune because you're in the G here. Right away it goes to B flat 7, outlining a B flat chord, ending up on an E flat major 7 there. You see, so that's the first couple of measures like that. And so it's kind of radical in a way that it changes key or shifts harmonies there from G harmony, G central, now to E flat. Then it goes to the 4 of the E flat, which I didn't do, but that's what the original score does. This is what I did. I took that line, moving to the B flat. I put the 2 in front of the B flat, that'd be F minor. And then I created a descending line to take me from G to E flat. So I'm going right down chromatically like that to get to E flat. So it goes like this. G, F sharp in the bass. Then the F minor, 7. Now here, E7, altered. That's a sharp 11 again. You know, you want to get those sharp 11s in on your harmony if you can. And there's your E flat. So you see G, F sharp, F, E. And when I went to the E chord, that's a tritone substitute. It's substituting for the B flat 7, but it's adding to the harmony. It's a substitute for B flat 7, but we're actually playing the B flat 7. Well, actually, we're omitting it. We're actually playing an E7 instead of the B flat, and then resolving on the E flat there. So it's a nice way to get the E flat chromatically, descending. There's your E7. Really nice, rich sound, and I put it up here, put it up there, because it creates a nice 4th type voicing. And then the 4th voicing there on the E flat, 6-9. Now, the original score goes to A flat. Well, actually, I go down. I continue to descend. To get me to that A minor, I want to get to that A minor, and I'm going to continue that descent. I prefer that reharm there to the original lead sheet. So you have this descending to the C minor, and then the B flat getting me to. So there you have the bass line, the alteration of the bass line. The bass line defines the chords. So you have G, F sharp, F, E7, E flat, D, approach to C minor, B flat approach to A minor. See, so B flat really isn't a tritone substitute there. It's really just the bass line moving against the C minor chord on the top. Now I get to the A minor, it's an A minor 11. I can use a B flat on the second half of the measure to give it some variety rather than just sitting on A minor for 4 beats. Like that. I'm going to go up a half step. Now that allows for interesting improvisation because now I can do things like, you know, or you know, I can start to do some chromatic moves in the improvisation by having that B flat 7 chord in there. And this is often what happens in jazz reharm is up half steps or down half steps, like, you know, like a, you know, just a C chord, but the chromatic movement keeps the harmonic movement from being stagnant or static, you know, just sitting somewhere, you know, you got to. Now here, next thing that's going to happen is I'm going to be approaching a C minor chord. So I'm doing it by chromatic moves from E minor, E flat minor, D minor, B flat, 7 altered. Now I'm there. I'm on C minor. Now, interesting that we have a C minor there because it's not in the key of G. It's the 4 chord altered. Because we're going to be going back to that B flat chord again. So it's 2, 2. Now, here's another trick that Bill Evans uses. He plays the C minor voicing like this. First inversion, and then moving the 5th up. There, augmented. C minor, augmented C minor, 6. Creates beautiful harmony. And it's a nice rub there. Now here, tritone substitute, moving to the B flat. The tritone substitute is the G flat, which is approaching the F7. So it's acting like a C7 would approach an F7, a C would approach an F. So it's the tritone of C. Remember, the tritone substitute is up a flat 5. So up a flat 5 from C would be F sharp. So we have the F sharp 7 there. So we have F sharp or G flat 7, F7, B flat, major 7. Then I have, goes to the 4 of B flat, the E flat major. I do the same thing, a 2, 5, 1, but using the tritone substitute. F minor 7, E7, E flat major. Now I'm on the 2 chord again. I'm going to make it minor, then minor major 7, then minor sus. Now this interesting melody, D7 sharp 9. And then put the C approach tone to the, amending on the 3 chord there. B minor, or it could be 13 or B minor. Then I use the E7. That's a trick that I'll give you a link to those chords down below, to the video I did on those chords. But it's a harmonization of the E7 sharp 9 chord. So that ending section there of 2 measures is just a turnaround. It's like a 3, 6, 2, 5. B minor, E7, A minor 7, D7. Now back to the beginning again. Now, those 8 measures, the first 8 measures repeat, and then we have a second ending. So remember that first ending was the C minor chord. The second time through goes to C major. So instead of, it's this. We have this new melody now. Down to the 2 chord. Turn around to the 3. Now it's going to go to the 2 chord again. We're going to end up there. There's a lot of different interpretations of this section of the song, so this is the one that I like. 3. Now what is that? That's an approach to the A7 by way of its 5, but not major. The E minor. It's like a 2-5, E minor, A7, but it's approaching it from the half step below. Acting like a tritone substitute, but in this case it's minor because of the melody. There's the 13, A13. Now here I put a B flat diminished. Take me back to B minor, the 3 chord. Now I just have a 3, 6, 2, 5 turn around. But I use the tritone substitute again because I don't want the predictability of cyclical movement. I want chromatic movement. Or then I go to the G with the D pedal again. I repeat that intro as a way to get into the solo, and then I do this scale. I love that scale there because it's played against the D chord, so it has this it's really a G flat Lydian. That's a G flat Lydian scale, but it's functioning like an F7 sharp 9 sharp 11 augmented. It's really exotic sounding, I think, that sound. That sound there. Yeah. All right, so there you have it. Now you want to learn this by downloading my score and following along with this video to see my voicings, how I'm voicing them, and so on. Please write to me. I'd love to hear from you, and I hope you enjoyed this. We'll have a sign-off. Signing off from the Jazz Ranch. Thanks so much for tuning in today. I want to give you a little shout out on my book. This is my book called Jazz Piano Methods and Songbook for Professional Playing. I've sold thousands of copies. I have a special sale going on right now. If you buy my book, you'll get my 140-page appendix of exercises for free. All you have to do is order my book through my website and then write to me, and my email address is below, and I will send that to you directly to your email. So please check out the videos I've made on both books so you can see everything that's inside them. Where can you go and see a complete inside of a book on a video? Only here at the Jazz Ranch. So thanks for tuning in today. Please give me a comment. I love to hear from you. I always answer all comments. You'll see that I do answer all comments if you give me enough time. And until next time, in the words of my great friend upstairs, Hermie Dressel, I'll say, swing loose. We'll see you next time around. Be cool. Bye-bye.